Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Greco29A and today we're going over how to make and install game patches to Minecraft 3DS Edition. So let's get into it. Right now, we are going to go over to the Minecraft 3DS community GitHub page. That's github.com/Minecraft 3DS community dash. Go over to game patches. And you'll see right here in this repo, we have a lot of information. So as you can see, we have viewport scaling, we have sensitivity, we have the Ender Dragon count, we have everything that we possibly can want. And so right here, we're gonna use a bunch of these addresses to make a game patch or a code.ips or an IPS patch for Minecraft 3DS. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So first what we are going to do is type in HXD, which is a hex editor. This is I'm going to be showing because it's a lot easier than going through Gahidra with a decomp or an IDA because IDA really doesn't support 3DS executables or of that nature. And so we're going to go over HXD. It's a simple one. It's not going to do everything that you're going to possibly want, but it will help us with these patches. So here we go. First, what we're going to want to do is go over here to HXD, and we will come down and we will go to the download page. Because I'm on Windows, I will be on a Windows, and I'm going to click Control F and type in English. I'll come over here and just download per HTTPS. I already have it installed, so I won't be going through it all. However, it'll download as a zip file, and you would just extract that and then double click the installer, and then it's on your system. So let's get into it. I opened up HXD right here. It might be a little bit different depending on which version or if you have any themes installed or made for it. I have a specific folder for dumping my code.bin. I already have it. If you guys do not have it, you guys can learn how to just dump all the files and decompress your files. There should be a few videos. If there is one, I'll just go ahead and link it somewhere above right here in a card. But let's go ahead and delete all of these files. We'll get rid of the credits file. We'll get rid of all this jazz right here. And so right now we just have our original backup code. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to name it to something along the lines of custom. And there we go. It's custom.bin. We're going to come back to the GitHub repo. And, well, I like not having head restrictions or movement restrictions for my camera in games. That's me personally, but everybody's a little bit different. And so what I'm going to do is basically change these values right here, which are the default value. And I'm going to change these to something that will allow me to go all the way around, like a 360 degree. And so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take my custom.bin file, move it over to HXD, and drop it in. You can click Control G, which will allow us to type in the address that it's over here. So I'm just going to copy that specific address. Do not click the OX. That's just a connotation or a identifier for a hex address. And we can also convert it over to decimal if we really want, but I'm going to use hex. I'm more familiar with that rather than decimal offsets. So let's go. You'll see that our cursor was just moved to this address, which contains a float value of, would you guess it, -90. So this can only ever be a negative value. So we are going to type in -360 as the float value, the single float value. Click Control S to save. Then we are going to go to this address. It's only +8 bytes. And so we're just going to count. That's -90. And then this should be positive. As you can see right here, it'll tell you right here. And just to check, we can click on the beginning of this 4-byte address, and you can see it matches up. So we'll select all these bytes, hit the single float 32, and do 360. Click Control S. Now, I also want to be able to jump real high, right? Because who doesn't want to jump real high? So we're going to click Control G and go over here to the jump velocity. Control S to or Control C to copy. Come over here. Control V to paste. Click OK. you'll see that we have a weird value right here of 4 or 0.4199. So this is 0.2 basically. Okay, so it's 4.2. What we can do to jump a little higher is do 0.6825, which should allow us to jump up about roughly twice as high, give or take a little bit. If I do 6.7, won't work. If I do 6.8, it won't work, so you have to go a little bit above. This is a velocity vector. You can see around here that it just is calculating a bunch of stuff relating to this single byte. So that's all we really need. We can also increase movement swimming speed. So if we go over here and let's, oh, whoops, wrong application. Control G, Control A, Control V to paste it in. Okay. This is our movement speed, so it's 0.02 practically. We don't want that. If we want to be real fast in water, we can do a 0.1, which will be really, really fast, or we can just do a 1.0 and it'll be insanely fast. I think the 2 would be too fast, so we're going to go a 1.5. Click Control S to save it, or you can come up here and then just click Save whenever you make changes. We're going to exit out now of HXD. Come on down to the bottom of this GitHub repo and you'll find an application called Flips, or Floating IPS. We're going to be using this. Want to click on the latest releases, click Flips Windows, and have it installed. I already have it installed, so I won't need to do this. But all you would need to do is just Control C, Control V, and it's right here. It's a GUI application, so it might say that it's unsupported or unable to work on Windows or whatever, or it might give you a warning saying Windows Defender couldn't do anything about it. It's a false positive. You don't need to worry about it. You would click Create Patch. We'll go on down to my code.bin right here. Click Most Common Files, because Floating IPS only patches files, so it's not dependent on ROM formats. So you could theoretically create a patch for a text document or whatever, right? Because all it is address, value, how much was changed, etc. That's all the patch is. So we're going to select our original unmodified ROM to use. So that's my original one. Click Open. Our custom. Click Open. And now we're just going to rename it to code, right? And you can select BPS or IPS. IPS will always be loaded first whenever being used in layered FS. Click Save. Click OK. Go over here to your, directory that you were just in. And you can also just, actually for the fun purpose of this, we can also look at it inside of HXD. And right here, that is not the address, but this right here is the address. It's 3EAO90, which is, if we come back to the, the Minecraft 3DS game patches repo. You can see that right here. Where is it? Right here. That is the swimming movement, and it does this in order. And so it is telling me how long it is, what exactly was modified, etc., etc., right? So it's a 4-byte long modification, and then there are the 4 bytes. If we scroll down, we can see that it's a 1.5, which is the value we changed it to, and it just does this over and over again. So that's pretty cool. We can close this now, however. You can also close Flips. To apply this to your game, all you need to do, Control C, and if you have WinSCP, you would go to your 3DS and install it that way. However, with this, we are not going to be doing that. We are going to be using an emulator because the 3DS sucks at streaming over Wi-Fi. So we're going to search up Citra Qt, or I could have just clicked it right there, obviously. Click Open, not extra data. Mods location. You want to delete this. And we'll come back over here. Actually, I already have it copied to my clipboard. So you click Control V, or you could paste it right in like that, and then bada bing, bada boom. Right? And so here we go. We would just drag and drop, basically. Now, let's go into Minecraft. It'll be fun. So while this is loading, let's go over what we have changed. So we have changed our head movement restrictions, our swimming movement speed, and our jump velocity. So that is 4 addresses that we have modified. These two, and then whatever the jump velocity and the swimming movement speed. All right, should be loading now. Perfect. Come on over here, go to load existing world, and bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. We're going to go into my creative world just so we can test all this out. All right, here we go. So I'm going to click the, nope, which one is it? It is T. So we are going to be walking around, but if I click A to jump, you can see that we jump twice as high, right? And I'm going to get a water block just to prove this as well, that our swimming is in fact, what do you call it? A lot faster. Oh, whoops. Sorry. And as you can see, right there, jump. Oh, and forgot one thing. We can also do this. So now we can look around. Whee! So much fun. And we can also go backwards. We had to modify both of those values, so it allows us to do this. So now we have basically free range of our character's position. If we click T again, we can also do it first person.